Hello everyone and welcome to CloudyML. So in this video we are going to discuss about one of the important interview question which was asked in Wayfair. So this is the problem statement. So assume that you are given a table containing information about Wayfair user transactions for different products. So consider that you are given a table which contains user transactions for different products. Now what we have to do is we have to write the query to calculate the year on year growth rate for the total spend of each product, grouping the results by the product ID. So we have to calculate the year on year growth rate for total spend for each product. So now what we have to do is we have to just see here the output should include the year in ascending order. So this should be kept in mind because you have to write select statements using these things. So we have to make sure that the output should include the year in ascending order, product ID, current year spends, previous year spend, and year on year growth percentage rounded to two decimal places. This has been given. So whenever when we will write the select query, we will keep this part in mind. Okay, now this is the user transaction table which contains different columns, which is transaction ID, product ID, spend, and transaction date, and their respective data types are also given here. The transaction ID will be in the form of integer, product ID will be in the form of integer, spend will be in the decimal data type, and transaction date will be of a date time data type. Okay, now this is the sample table, and in this case you can look at that this is a product ID. The product ID is same across this sample table. The reason being that we are focusing to find out the year on year growth rate for each of the spend against each of the product. So there might be multiple products in the main data set, but then you have to take each of the product and then you have to calculate year on year growth on the spends. Okay, that's what we have to do. So we are not taking that entire data set. We are considering that we are just focusing on the product with a product ID of 123424. This is the product ID, and the transaction ID has also been given. The spends are also been given here. The spend is for particular year. So in 2019 you have 1500 spend, 2020 1000, 2021 1246, and 2022 2145. This is the spend corresponding to this single product ID. Mind you, there might be multiple products, but then just to solve, just to focus, just to be creative, we are just finding out one product, and to keep things simple also in this case we are just getting one product and trying to do the calculation on top of this. Now the example output looks like this. So in this case, when you have got the year 2019 and the current year spent in 2019 is around 1500, so you don't have any values corresponding to 2018 year. That's why the previous year spend remains null and year on year rate is also null. But when you come to 2020, the total spend in 2020 is 1000 and the previous year spend is 1500. So definitely there is a loss. This is minus 33%, means around 33% loss has been accrued on the spend of this product in 2020 compared to 2019. Similarly, if you will go to 2021 year, you can see that you have the current year spend, which is of 2021 year, as 1246. All right, and the previous year spend is 1000. So definitely there the year on year rate is increased, or growth is positive, which is 24%. Similarly, for the last column it is 72%. The explanation has also been given that in the year 2020 the current year spend is 1000 and there is no previous year spend recorded, and that's why it's empty. In year 2021 the current year spend is 1246 and the previous year spend is 1000.2. And in this case the calculation has also been explained that, for instance, the spend grew by 24.62% from 2020 to 2021, indicating a positive growth rate. Now, before we try to solve this question, of course, we are going to use my SQL workbench to solve this. Though you can use any IDE of your choice, you can use SQL Server, Postgres, or Oracle, whatever you want. I am using my SQL Server. No, now the point is there are various ways to solve such questions. You can use window function, you can use subqueries, you can use joins. So no, we cannot explain each and every type of solutions in this case, though sometimes I try to do that if the question is pretty straightforward. But then in such questions, you can try on your own to solve these queries with different ways. Okay, I am going to solve this using a very standard, or I would say uh, using a very standard inner join and left join concepts, because probably this will also give you a, a edge over joins. Okay, because we all can use different ways, but then the basic, the standard way of using joins and everything is also very important. And why I'm focusing on this part of a solution, because there are some companies which often ask students to try to write inner join and left join in such kind of question to see the concept clarity on these kind of things, in these concepts, especially joins. So that's why I'm choosing inner join left join concept in this case. Okay, so to do that, what we can do is, in this case, I have prepared an Excel sheet of this problem. So this Excel sheet will give you a proper clarity on what goes underneath when we are doing the join and what will be our logic. We will just try to replicate this into our SQL query. So considering this is the table, this is the table which contains four columns of 2019, 2020, 21, 22. Of course, since this is one table, so obviously we are going to do self join. That is to understood. That is very much understood that we are going to do self join. Now, so that's why what I have done is I have taken this table and I have prepared the same replica of this table near to this. This is the same replica. I have colored both of this table in different colors so that you can understand it. Consider this table is user transaction U1 and this is user transaction U2. Now to do a self join, what you can do is you can either join them on transaction ID, product ID, or transaction date, or you can also choose to join taking multiple columns. So you can try doing that. What I have done is, in this case, I have matched, first of all, I have matched product ID and product ID together. So what I'm doing in this case, I am joining both the table on u1 dot product ID is equal to u2 dot product ID. This is what I will be doing. Okay, so in this case, what is the table which what will be the table which I will get in this case? I'll get this table here, this table. So in this case, what will happen if the product ID is this, and I'm taking this column, this product ID, un dot product ID, and matching across this. So since the product ID is same, so all this product ID will be matched to this particular product ID of U1. So that is why in this case you can see U1, the product ID U1 for the respective transaction of 1341 remains same in all these four cells. You see 1341, 3141, 1341, 1341. And corresponding to this one row, which will be matching with the U2 dot product ID. These all four rows will be returned. So corresponding to this one transaction ID 1341, all the four transaction ID will be returning 1341, 1423, 1623, and 1322. Similarly, when I'll take U1 dot product ID, this second product ID, I mean the same copy of it, but for a different transaction ID, which is 1423. Again, the same four rows will be replicated. So in this case, you can look at this. 1423 is also is also replicated 4 times, this 1423 here, but in this case you have got all the 4 transaction ID. And the same thing goes for 1623 as well. In this case you have got 4 1623, but for each 1623 you are having these all unique 4 different transaction ID. So this is how, so total rows will be 16. This is the total rows which you will get. Now I want to filter out, I want to filter out those rows where you have year 2020 and the other value should be one less than that. So in this case, in the first case, you can look at this. You have got 2019 2019 as all the years, and you have got 2019 2020 21 22. What I want in this case is, since I have to get year on year growth rate, so one record, one date I should be getting, which should be of 2020, and the other date which I should be getting should be one less than that. That then only you can get year on year growth rate, right? So this is the record which is highlighted in yellow. This is a superb record where I can see that you have a transaction ID of 2020 and you have got the 2019 date also. And now we have got this 1000 and 1500. Similarly, you have got another ID, this another row like this, which has which has 2021 as a date of U1, and for U2 transaction date comes out to be 2020, which is one less than 2021. Similarly, you have got U1 dot transaction date as 2022 here, and U2 dot transaction date is 2021, which is one less than that. So these 3 rows are very beneficial for us. And now if you are a practitioner of SQL, you can understand what will be the logic. The logic will be simple. You have to take U1 dot spend, current year spend, minus U2 dot current year spend, and you have to divide it by U2 dot current year spend. This is what you have to do, right? Obviously this is what you will be doing in this case. So this is where our basic sense will come. Basic calculations will come, where what we will be doing, we will be taking this value and dividing by this value. We will be taking this value, u1 dot spend minus u2 dot spend divided by u2 dot spend into 100. That will be our year on year growth rate. This is what we will be doing. So now what I will do, I'll try to solve this question, and I hope the logic is clear. First of all, we have to join this using product IDs, and then we have to filter out the rows where the date u1 dot transaction date is one less than u2. U1 dot transaction date is one one greater than u2 dot transaction date. So to do this, we can go to MySQL, and then we can simply write the statement. What would be the statement in this case? Let's see. I can say select, and for now, just for now, probably I can just say u1 dot star, because I'm just telling that I want everything from u1 dot star. That means I want to have all the columns from u1. Now since we have already seen the logic, what we can do in this case, I can say that u1 dot spend u1 dot spend minus u2 dot spend. This is what we did, right? This is what we did in the Excel. We saw we have to subtract u1 dot spend minus u2 dot spend, and we have to divide by u2 dot spend, u2 dot spend. And what we have to do is we have to simply multiply it by 100, and I can return this column. I can simply return this column as probably year on year growth rate. This is what I can do. Okay, as YOY, year on year growth rate, or let's say I'll just write year on year rate. This is what I have done. Now after this, I have to get this from user transactions U1, user transaction U1, and I have to join. What kind of join? The example which we saw in Excel was inner join, because we are taking the matching points. The problem in this case with inner join is it will only return 3 rows here, because it is finding that whenever your u1 dot spend or u1 dot year and u2 dot year is differenced by 1, those rows only we have to return. But we also have to understand that for the first row, this row we don't have a previous year, so I have to return null for that. So in this case, if I use a left join, so left join will take all the transaction IDs of my left table, which is U1 table. So in this case, when it will take it and it will see this transaction ID 1341, it will not find the matching record with respect to this spend, because we don't have any kind of transaction of 2018. So it will return null. So that is why we will not use inner join. We will use left join. So in this case we will be using left join, but you can test by using inner join. It will give you more intuition. So what I'll be doing, I'll be doing the left join user transactions u2 on u1 dot u1 dot product id, because I've just created the table, so I know what are the values. See, this is the product id is equal to u2 dot product underscore id. So if you want to look at the result, you can see here in this case, if I just run this. Okay, okay, because of this particular calculations, it is not because I have to complete it as year on year. I have not uh, done it, so that is why. So in this case, just remove this. Let's say, we will write it again. So what I'll do in this case, just look at this. If I just click, one second, guys. Why is it not working? Okay. It is because of this product ID. That is why it was not working. Okay, just a moment. See, you have got 1322 1322 1322 1322 1341 1341 1341. So all this, and here it will have all the 4 matching values. So this is the entire 9 rows. And now what I can do in this case is, if you can see it here. Okay, now from this, what I can do is I can also filter out the year, the rows where u1 dot year minus u2 dot year is equal to 1. This is what the condition should be. So this is the join, and And is like you are again joining, again you are filtering out something on this. What you are saying that I want the year of u1 dot transactions underscore date, u1 dot transactions underscore date. This should be equal to year of u2 dot transactions underscore date. Again, it's transactions date or transaction date. Let me look at, it's transaction date. So this is these are some silly things which you have to keep in mind, that otherwise your query won't work. This should be this transaction date plus 1. So you can look at this. This means that u1 transaction date minus u2 transaction date is equal to 1. This is what we were looking at, right? So if I run this now, you can look at this. This is 4 columns which I am getting, 4 rows which I am getting. And if I'll just do an order by, a simple order by u1 dot transactions transaction underscore date. So this will order this. Otherwise, this is something, the year is in this case 2022, 2019, 20, and it is like random sort. So if I just do this, it will get sorted. You can look at this. Now you get the idea what you have to do now. It's very simple now. You have to simply select whatever you want and from this table and be done with it. So the first thing which I want to select is year, and the year should be u1 dot transaction underscore date. This is my, this will be my first thing which I want because of my this table. In this table you can look at this. I want year, product id, current year spent, previous year spent, and year on year rate. So we have to try to select this accordingly. So this is year, and I can give an alias to it as year. Okay, this is what I want. Then what I would want is u1 dot product id. I just want u1 dot product id. Then I want u1 dot spend as curr, yani current spend. Don't forget the comma, otherwise you will encounter an error. And u2 dot spend as previous underscore spend. Previous underscore spend. That's it. And now finally, our main year on year growth formula, which said u1 dot spend minus u2 dot spend divided by u2 dot spend, just multiply here by 100 as yoy underscore rate. And that's it. You are ready to go now. So just remove this result here, and then this is your final query. Just look at this now. Here it comes. You have got all the percentage change. So guys, this is the solution for this particular problem. Just wanted to make sure that you understand the way self join works, how multiple multiple conditions are used while retrieving the rows from self join. That is also we can understand from this part, that you are left joining from these two things, and then what you are doing here is you are also mm, taking a condition that you have to retrieve those rows only where the years differ by one. So this is what we have to understand. This is the creative thing which you have to, sometimes it is asked in interview, so you have to just understand this. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you like this way we have explained the solutions. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.